Welcome back for another video. Just a few more free transfers left to spend, so who are the best players to buy for the run-in? We're going to look at all the positions with some help from FPL review projections as well. So let's do the goalkeepers first. There's a couple of eye-catching fixtures next game week. We've got Man City who've got Southampton away, we've got Forest home to Leicester and Brentford away to Ipswich, and it's Cielo that tops the keepers table with 4.2 projected points. Now, of course, it's not the same Forest that we've seen defensively early in the season, right? 9.87 expected goals conceded over the last 6 game weeks, ranks 4th worst. Literally only the 3 relegated teams have been worse. And by the way, look how much Chelsea have improved here. 4.88 expected goals conceded is best in the league over the last 6 games. Arsenal 2nd, Man City 3rd, Villa 4th. Despite conceding 4 times to Brentford, Man United's data is showing some improvement overall as well. So Ederson was back in the starting 11 for Man City and kept the clean sheet, of course. His predicted minutes are a bit of a question mark, which is why he doesn't appear in the table here, but I would expect him to continue starting if you want to go there. The other team that we mentioned was Brentford, who faced Ipswich, and that's got Flecken on 3.8 projected points. We're at a stage of the season now where, with 3 game weeks to go, there's very little separating lots of players. Like looking at the next 3 column in terms of projected points for the run-in, they're all really close there, right? They're all hovering around 11 points in terms of the keepers. So if you've got a gut feeling about certain teams and players that look like 50-50s, then just back yourself. I mean, you can always fall back on the fact that, at least according to the data, it was a 50-50 call. That actually sometimes helps me a bit when I'm making data-packed decisions which don't come off. So Raya's got Liverpool away next, which is obviously a horrendous fixture, but he just about makes the table. He's on 3.5 points, same as Kepa. Despite that Liverpool fixture, he's still just barely top of all keepers for the final 3. If you've got the Areola and Raya combination in your team, then Raya's very marginally favoured by literally 0.1 points, so that's another 50-50 there. They might both concede, to be honest. Liverpool did lose 3-1 to Chelsea in the weekend with a rotated side, and we might not see Liverpool back at their best next game week either. Like, Arsenal's still got a lot to play for. If they're not careful, they could drop down the table. But yeah, in terms of Liverpool, the title's theirs already. No one can take that from them. Defenders next then. So is this the week we finally get to see Vardy back in left back? O'Reilly didn't have the best game against Wolves before his early sub. I mean, he's only 20 in fairness, he's got a bright future ahead, but Pep does have that option to use Akanji and his experience in centre back along with Ruben Diaz and then play Vardy left back. I mean, it's maybe wishful thinking as an owner myself, but who remembers his end to the 23-24 season, Vardy? That run from game week 33 where he had 4 goals and 2 assists in just 5 games. So yeah, it's Vardy who's joint top this week on 4.6 points, along with Aina and Nico Williams actually. So who's the best Forest defender? Like, is it Aina? Is it Nico? Well, if we actually look at the season data, it's quite interesting. Milenkovic has actually got the best XGI with 4.08, Williams 3.35, and then Murillo and then Aina. Now, Milenkovic leads on minutes per XGI as well, and I think I'd actually go for Milenkovic for the superior data, but also the fact that Leicester have conceded 111 headed goal attempts this season, more than any team. No team's conceding more than 100 even, so yeah, every time there's a free kick or a corner going into the box, Milenkovic has got a good chance of being on the end of it. He's also the most expensive, of course, with Aina. If you need a cheaper pick, then Williams is great as the solution there. A quick honourable mention to Trent, who, yeah, in my view, is the GOAT FPL defender, and Liverpool have just officially announced he'll be leaving at the end of the season. 91 attacking returns over the last 8 seasons is just crazy output, honestly. But some good FPL memories of Trent over the years, such as that Leicester 24-pointer, 1 goal, 3 assists and a clean sheet in a single game week. I'd probably avoid him in FPL though, because, I mean, Slot's incentive is to play Bradley, isn't it? And we did see Trent off before the 60-minute mark last match as well. Yeah, Man City though, they've always got that tendency to lock in and finish season strongly, haven't they? And I do think doubling up Vardy and Ruben Diaz is still a good option. Like, it's served well recently, of course, and there's every chance that continues, particularly with Southampton next as well. I mean, that's an amazing fixture, and they're going to be among the best for clean sheet odds next game week. Trippier makes the table, he's on 3.5 points, 3 assists in his last 4 games for him. He is home to Chelsea, which isn't the best entry point, and they do have Arsenal away after that. It could be a fun game week 38 punt. Newcastle are actually top among all teams for non-penalty expected goals over the last 6 games. They've generated loads of chances and plenty coming from Trippier down that right side. Onto the midfielders next, and this week Mbeumo actually leads again for the second week in a row on 6.4 points, away to Ipswich as well, so he could be set to benefit from the absence of Davies for Ipswich down that flank. I mean, loads of you captained Mbeumo last week, a bit unfortunate really just to have the 1 assist from 4 goals. I mean, if that was you, I think there's every chance that keeping the armband on him is the play this week. Honourable mention to Shader though, a brace against Man United that match, and that's put him on double-digit goals for the season, plus he's got 4 assists, and he's only 5.1 mil. The caveat with him is that potential for some early substitutions, which you just don't get with Mbeumo and Wissa. 71 minutes for him last match, 67 the week before. So Salah's actually second, 5.5 points for him, so there is a bit of a reasonable gap there to Mbeumo. It's worth noting Salah was a bit unlucky to blank against Chelsea. Darwin robbed him of an assist really, so they're actually pretty close to ending up on the same score last game week. It is Arsenal next for Salah though. He did score in the reverse fixture at the Emirates, but he was limited in the chances afforded to him. So yeah, it could be the De Bruyne farewell tour. Another start last match and actually makes it 5 consecutive starts in the league. He's averaged 87 minutes across those 5 games as well. So it's going to be frightening not owning him next game week if he gets another start against Southampton. He's on 5.4 projected points. Another rest in the league for Bruno last match, with Europa League of course the priority. He's on 5.3 projected points this week and they're home to West Ham. It's a game that he's actually got a decent chance of starting. Like, if they progress to the final, then that's not going to be played until midweek after Game Week 37. So yeah, Game Week 37 almost certainly a rest against Chelsea, but West Ham next game week I doubt it. That said, don't buy him, it's just not worth taking on that risk, but if you've got him, just play him this week. So is Palmer back? We had a brilliant game against the champions, didn't he? And they're away to Newcastle next. Not the best fixture, but don't rule him out just yet. I can actually see him being a popular talking point for Game Week 37 rather than next game week. Well, as I say, Chelsea have got Man United at Stamford Bridge that game, who will likely play the kids again like they did against Brentford before the Europa League final. The slight caveat is Chelsea might be in the Europa Conference League final themselves, which is a few days after Game Week 38, where Chelsea have got Forest away a few days before. Depending on how the table looks, Maresca might have to go full strength in the league anyway, but yeah, if Champions League places are wrapped up, then he might look to rotate before the final. Looking at the forwards next, and we're spoilt for choice with forwards right now, aren't we? There's Wood, there's Isak, Wissa, Watkins, Cunha, they all look like great picks. But yeah, going back to that earlier point, at this stage, there's very little separating them for the final 3 game weeks, especially in terms of projections here. So if you've got a gut feeling about a certain player, just back yourself. Isak, Wood, Wissa and Watkins in particular, just neck and neck here, looking at those last 3. Wood, of course, with potentially the best fixture this week, home to Leicester in their bid for Champions League football as well. The goals have dried up a bit as of late, but West Ham in Game Week 37 is pretty nice as well. Chelsea in Game Week 38 less so, but at least it's a home fixture. I do really like the idea of stacking up attack of teams performing well though, which does lend weight to going Wissa if you've got Mbeumo, rather than spreading around. Like, every time Brentford score, there's always that chance to have a double return, like if they assist one another. It's felt a bit like the Chris Wood season, hasn't it? But Wissa's actually just 1 goal behind him without penalty duties, while Wood has scored 3 penalties this season. So it's really gone under the radar just how great Wissa's been. Mbeumo's level with Wissa for goals scored, but 5 penalties scored in Mbeumo's case, and only Haaland and Isak have got a higher non-penalty XG than Wissa this season. Ipswich, Fulham and Wolves, decent block of 3 final fixtures as well. As a reminder, there's European football this week before the next deadline, so there's no reason to rush early transfers. Arsenal, Spurs, Man United and Chelsea all play before next game week. So yeah, work out which transfer you'd like to make, but just don't lock it in until nearer the deadline just in case. Team values are relevant at this stage of the season as well. It's not like you're going to buy someone and then sell them for a profit, are you? Are any of you buying a forward this week? If so, which one and who are you selling? Finishing up with a very quick look at the managers then. Who's projected to do best this week? Well, Pep's well in front this week, given they've got Southampton of course. There's high projected goals, there's high clean sheet potential, all of which benefits the Chips' performance. Forest is second with 7.7 points. Pep's miles ahead for the final 3 game weeks though, so if you're activating the chip now, just go for Pep if you can. There's no table bonus games leaping out this week, to be honest with you either. I mean, there is McKenna, but I'd certainly avoid him. Thanks very much for watching. Let us know what your transfer plans are below. See you soon for the next one.